This is the Morning Drive Podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
I'm Mike Hebert, owner of Cantex Roofing and Construction. Every day is game day, and we'll get it right when it comes to your roofing, construction, windows, and mirrors. Call Cantex Roofing and Construction today. Together, we are one serving you.
And on Red Raider Baseball with Tim Tadlock, but I didn't know if maybe you had a sidebar conversation about, with Coach saying, hey, did you know that my morning show is randomly delicious? Would you agree with that? But it probably didn't come up, did it?
It did not come up.
Yeah, that would have been.
Did not.
That would have been a bit of a surprise if it had. So take your thoughts and comments this morning on the Yates Flooring Center chat line. Go to doublet973.com for that on the mobile app. Visual Edge IT hotline is open too at 806-771-0973. Here's something for you. These are the top four kind of upsets to kind of take a look at for the tournament. The 9 seed Utah State over the 8 seed Villanova. I actually have Villanova winning one game and then losing to Arizona. The 10 seed Missouri losing to the 7 seed Miami. Jamie, Missouri could have been a 1 seed and Miami could have been a 15 or a 16 seed, and I probably would have still taken Miami, although even that probably would have pushed me over to Missouri. But I picked Miami in this game, so I hope that's not the case, that Missouri wins today. And this is going to be interesting, VCU and North Carolina, because I'm not sure North Carolina's had I'm not sure they're back to North Carolina. You know what I mean? Because Duke had a pretty seamless transition, it seems like, from Mike Krzyzewski to John Shire. And it seems like North Carolina is just they've had struggles sometimes in replacing coaches. I mean, they did really well from Dean Smith to Roy Williams, but there was a coach in between Dean and Coach Williams. And now, with Hubert Davis, it doesn't feel like they've got the true Carolina mojo. You know what I mean?
Okay, well, and they've been a program, and it feels like through the last 10 years or so, haven't been at the level that Duke is.
Right.
And so, I don't think there would be any arguing with you there. Also, North Carolina's missing their stud freshman. So, yeah, I don't expect North Carolina to make a long run.
Okay. Yeah, his name is Caleb Wilson. He had a fractured hand in February and then broke his thumb while preparing to return, and now his season is over. That got to suck. You've already got a fractured hand, and then you're trying to rehab from that, and then somehow or another you break your thumb.
Doesn't seem ideal.
No, but doesn't it seem weird though? How many times? You see that in baseball, because of just we saw that with Josh Young, right? Just with the velocity of the ball coming off the bat, or somebody throwing at you, or something along those lines. This is a game that I did pick this way. Number 11 Texas over number 6 BYU. I have Texas winning over BYU. I just feel like that playing that one game ahead, and then you're playing a team that's not with all its resources. So Texas won a game on a buzzer beater. I don't know. How do you feel about Texas and BYU? You kind of mentioned that earlier.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Texas won the game.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So those are some to kind of look out for as far as the tournament is concerned. Do you have a Final Four, or do you just kind of play along with the rest of us with this bracket talk? Because generally speaking, you don't necessarily have a Final Four, but you may this year. You may surprise me.
I did not fill out a bracket, if that's what you're asking me. Yeah.
Yeah, no, but I didn't know if you had a Final Four, that you thought would be in the Final Four teams that you thought would be there at the end, and then a champion.
I have not looked, done the deep dive there. If you want me to, I'll lean towards the number 1 seeds. I'm usually, when I fill out brackets, I'm a chalk guy, which is really boring.
Yeah, no, I was pretty chalky on this. I've got Duke winning in the East. I've got Houston winning in the South, Arizona in the West, and Michigan in the Midwest. I've got some upsets along the way, but I mean that's 3 1s and a 2, and then I have Houston and Arizona playing for it all, and I have Arizona win the national championship, Jamie.
Okay. I don't hate that.
You know, it's and one of the things that I've heard pundits talk about, and you know that I love pundits, just because it feels it's a good word to say, and those people are generally smart. I don't consider myself a pundit of anything. Pundits say though that with the transfer portal, you'll see less of the mid-majors upsetting teams that normally maybe would be on upset alert because those teams that have kind of grown up together and played together and then become seniors and juniors together, they know each other's, movements, and they know the plays, and so they operate as a team, which is, I think, part of the beautiful part of the game of basketball, when teams play as a team and the offense moves in motion, and defensively everybody knows where they're supposed to be. And sometimes those mid-major teams, the Valparaisos of the world or whomever, it's poetry in motion, and you're just not going to see that anymore, because once those guys realize that we're part of the poetry here, well, then they're going to go play for one of the Power 4 teams, whether it's going to be Texas Tech, could be Arizona, could be Houston, could be anybody, as opposed to staying in Akron or whatever.
Kind of takes some of the fun out of it, but then you see really quality basketball games at that Power 4 level, and I think that we've benefited that in the Big 12 Conference, where you see really, really well put together teams do battle with each other on, Tuesday, Wednesday, Saturdays, and we've really enjoyed it.
Yeah, no, I think so, but I just feel like, and who knows, I could be completely wrong. I mean, we could have the Zips go on some kind of run. I sure as heck hope not, because we talked about this yesterday, that there generally is a 5-12 upset. And for me, the 5-12 upset is going to be High Point defeating Wisconsin. That's my 5-12 upset. But, I mean, a popular pick, as you mentioned at the top of the show, is Akron to take down Texas Tech. We shall see. We'll have coverage tomorrow morning at 10:30, the tip at about 11:40. From Tampa. We'll have This Day in Sports History next.
Your daily dose of sports and fun. This is the Morning Drive Podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
Thursday, March the 19th, 2026. With This Day in Sports History, here is Jeff McGuire.
Yeah, here I am. All the buttons. 1938. NHL Toronto Maple Leafs and the New York Americans combined to score 8 goals in just under 5 minutes. Final score, Toronto wins 8-5.
Okay.
Moving on to 1955. The 17th NCAA Men's Basketball Championship finished up. San Francisco beats LaSalle 77-63. Don's future Hall of Fame center Bill Russell is named the tournament most outstanding player.
And you know what? They really haven't done anything since he won a couple of those for him. San Francisco.
Bill Cartwright didn't do anything for him.
Well, I mean, he didn't take him to a title, but I mean, he was good. You're right. That's fair. It's a fair assessment.
1966. The 28th Men's Basketball Championship. Texas Western beats Kentucky 72-65. It's the Miners' first title in their first title game. And other things.
And they just honored the Kentucky team that lost that game, the 60-year anniversary, and Pat Riley was the captain of that team.
1991. Sad day. Kansas City Royals announced that they are putting Bo Jackson on waivers.
Oh, man.
But
then he went to your White Sox.
But then he goes to the White Sox, and that's a happy day.
Yeah.
Just the fact that he came back from that injury and that basically hip replacement to play Major League Baseball is stunning.
He became Bionic Bo.
Yeah.
2005, Ronald Ross sank the go-ahead three-pointer with 1:06 left to play and added 2 clinching free throws with 7.5 seconds left to play as Texas Tech goes on to a 71-69 second-round victory over Gonzaga.
Okay.
And in 2021, Texas Tech is moving on to the second round of the 2021 NCAA Tournament after a 65-53 win over Utah State. Mac McClung led the Red Raiders with 16 points by hitting 3-pointers from, while Kyle Edwards hit 2 from behind the arc, finishing with 12 points.
Well, we could use a Kyler Edwards or a Mac McClung tomorrow.
I mean, we got like this guy named Christian Anderson and
I know.
and Donovan Atwell. I mean, I don't know that we're short on 3-point shooters.
I know, just somebody to come in, just in case.
Wouldn't we rather have a big for our injured big?
Yeah, you're probably Tariq Owens would probably be the better guy.
Heck, I'd take Norrance.
I'd take somebody who could score more. I'd go Bryson Williams.
Okay.
It is National. That was yesterday. It is National Chocolate Caramel Day and National Poultry Day.
Okay. Does that mean eat chicken? Is that what that means?
Yes.
Or does that mean the chickens get a day off today?
Either way.
Okay.
I'm not going to judge. Happy birthday, Bruce Willis is 71, Glenn Close 79, Clayton Kershaw 38, former Eagles coach Andy Reid is 68, and David Ross is 49.
He's still coaching. Andy Reid is.
Well, not for the Eagles.
I know, but he's still coaching. He's had way more success with the Chiefs than he had with the Eagles.
I don't know, man. You won 4 NFC championships. I mean, that's
pretty impressive.
Pretty impressive.
He's won 3 Super Bowls with the Chiefs. He's been to 2 more. He's been to 5 Super Bowls with the Chiefs. Unquestionably, Andy Reid is known for his
ability to coach quarterbacks. Yeah.
Yeah.
He can take any quarterback and make him look, I don't know, like Patrick Mahomes or something.
Chuck, I mean, how are you not realizing that Jeff is just goofing on you here? Why your panties are in a wad, dude?
I mean, chill out. I know he is.
Well, why are you being drawn off sides? He is. I don't know. He is just funning you, man, and you're like losing it.
I know. Well, I'm not losing it.
You're losing it.
No,
you were diving into a real sports argument there. Like Jeff is gonna pretend Andy Reid was better with the Eagles than the Chiefs.
I will admit I was diving into a real sports argument, but I wouldn't say I was losing it. I mean, I know when I lose it.
I got 2 free first downs there by pulling you off sides.
Well, that's what Andy Reid's offense did this past year. All they did was give teams false starts, time after time after time.
That's different from what I did to you. But okay. And on this day, 2003, United States, along with coalition forces primarily from the United Kingdom, initiates war on Iraq. Just after explosions began to rock Baghdad, Iraq's capital, U.S. President George W. Bush announced in a televised address, quote, "At this hour, American and coalition forces are in the early stages of military operations to disarm Iraq, to free its people, and to defend the world from grave danger," end quote. President Bush and his advisors built much of their case of war on the suspicious claim that Iraq, under dictator Saddam Hussein, possessed or was in the process of building weapons of mass destruction. And this day in sports history.
All right, this day in sports history, 6:51 this morning here on the Morning Drive. Thoughts, comments, Yates Flooring Center chat line. Go to doublet973.com for that of the mobile app. The Visual Edge IT hotline is open too. Jamie, I did not write this question, okay, on the Yates Flooring Center chat line, but it seems like that this could come from me, so I'll just say this is from a fellow Morning Drive listener. Jamie, here's a question you can ask Coach Tadlock. Ask him if the lights are on a timer at Danlaw Field. It seems they're on every morning and no one's there.
Okay.
Okay. I mean, I
If
don't
they're
know
on a timer.
if they're on a timer, because I agree with him. I mean, there's times when I'm driving down the Sherpabahn there,
How do you know no
and
one's there?
well, that's true. I mean, well, you assume like in this time of year because they practice in the afternoon and then they play games at night. You assume that there's nobody there. But you're right. Yeah, I mean, for all we know, Lincoln Garcia's out there taking ground balls, from somebody.
Yeah, if it's 6 a.m, my guess is no. But
Yeah.
I don't know that nobody is there. I don't know if there's. I don't know if that's the time the cleaning crew comes in to clean up.
Oh,
Or,
okay.
yeah, I mean, I don't have any idea.
They got the blower out there, and to get the leaves off the field.
They probably wouldn't do it that early because they'd probably have to just do it again later. I think that's usually done, an hour, 2 hours before first
Okay.
pitch. Yeah.
That's right before your pregame walk on the outfield. That's sarcasm. That's what that was.
Yes.
You
Andy Reid
recognize
was
that.
better with the Eagles than the Chiefs.
Okay. 6:53 this morning here
Man,
on the.
I can't believe that was so. I mean,
Well, he just said it so seriously, and I,
he was making one of the, and this is, I mean, deep coming from this show. He was making one of the dumber sports arguments in the history of ever, and you were taking it as him making a joke.
Hook,
Yeah, but-
line, sinker.
yeah.
But I appreciate you sticking up for your guy and for your team. So I mean, that's
Yeah.
good. You should always do that.
Yeah. Right. Should always do that.
You should stick up for your people. So you left no stone unturned at that point, Chuck.
I showed my fandom there, didn't I? A little bit.
When have you not?
Well, that's probably true. That's a fair statement. All right, we will talk some hoops and Lady Raider and Texas Tech Red Raider hoops next here this morning on the Morning Drive.
Your daily dose of sports and fun. This is the Morning Drive Podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
Concern tomorrow for the Red Raiders in your mind, Jamie, is do you want to play? And
Just what kind of effort are you going to get when it gets tough? I mean, again, I thought the effort was great at the start of the game against Iowa State in the Big 12 tournament, but once they started to come back, it felt like there just wasn't a lot of fight there. But that was almost like playing a road game for the Red Raiders with so many Iowa State fans there, which shouldn't feel like that in the NCAA tournament. But either way, you would, I'm sure Coach Grant McCasland would say, I don't care what number of fans are there or not there, or if there are no fans there, you should want to compete.
Yeah, I do kind of wonder, in this environment that they're going to be in, who the kind of the fans that are going will be rooting for. Is there going to be a large Michigan contingent there? Is there going to be a large Alabama contingent there? And maybe there's a lot of, I don't know, shine off of Alabama just because of losing one of their players and the nature of which, he's under some kind of, felony, suspicion of, distribution of marijuana. I mean, that'll take the shine off your team pretty fast. What's the Georgia fan base like? Do they even know that they've got a basketball team at Georgia? I picked Georgia to beat St. Louis. I don't really like that pick. And then Michigan, I mean, they're the number one seed. You would think they would travel well, but maybe their folks are waiting. We'll wait until we get to Chicago. And have a chance to play for things special to get to a Final Four. I do feel like that because they're a 12 and Tech's a 5, that folks will get behind, in the stands, get behind teams like Akron and Hofstra, just because they could be kind of darlings of the tournament and kind of have some kind of a romantic kind of feeling about them, making a run to the Sweet 16 and becoming a Cinderella. So, but hopefully Donovan Atwell's got his 3-ball dialed in, because you're gonna need him in a big way.
Yeah. So another concern that I have, Chuck, is and I don't know too much about the arena that we're playing in, but sometimes in these NCAA tournament games, and you get in these massive arenas, and it's a different shooting background than guys are used to in normal gyms. And because we're so reliant on the 3-point shot, if that affects us at all, sometimes some certain guys shoot better in those kind of deals, and sometimes it takes guys a little bit of time maybe to get used to it. But I'm sure Coach McCaslin has done everything he could to get his team comfortable, and they've got as much time on the court getting up shots as they possibly could there, so they do get used to it. But you just don't know with a team that's so heavily reliant on the 3-ball if that affects you at all.
Give me an unlikely, or maybe somebody that you like besides Christian Anderson and Donovan Atwell, somebody that you like. Okay, like if you were having a conversation with, you would say, "Young man, we really need you today."
Lawan Watts.
Yeah.
Lawan Watts.
I figured you were going to say that.
I mean, he's talented enough. We know that. It's just a matter of him being consistent and just playing to his capabilities. But yeah, I would think Lawan Watts is a big key for you. I mean, not only today, but if you advance today in every game moving forward.
Yeah. Okay, so we'll have coverage tomorrow morning at 10:30, play-by-play at about 11:40 tomorrow from Tampa. Lady Raiders will work out this morning, mid-afternoon, I guess, over at the Pete Maravich Center. They'll take on Villanova tomorrow. There's lots of concerns here. One, I mean, you're thrilled to be there for the first time in 13 years. I mean, no question, successful season, blah, blah, blah. 12-6 in the Big 12, 25-7 overall. You just don't like how you finished. The regular year and the Big 12 tournament, obviously, when you lost a 14-point lead and K-State went on a 21-0 run to finish off the game and beat you by 7. So here's some of my concerns, Jamie. Finishing, that's just one thing. In the last 4 games, you're averaging 7.8 points a game in the fourth quarter. Your opponent 19.5. You just can't have that. In the last 4 games, you've averaged 16.5 points in the paint versus almost 27 in the Big 12, and you're giving up 25 in the paint. You can't do that. Free throws. You've allowed your opponent to get to the free throw line way more in the last 4 games than in the regular year, to the point where they're outscoring you with 16-11 from the free throw line in the last 4 games. So who has to step up for the Lady Raiders? All right, and here's who it is, Jamie. You need your stars to be stars. In the last 4 games, Snetta Collins has averaged 9.5 points. She averaged 15.4 in the Big 12. Now, one of those games, she got literally knocked out. She had no points and no rebounds against Arizona State, so that obviously affects that average. But still,
yeah, it really crushes it.
Yeah, but
what was the average if you just look at the other 3 games?
I don't know. I got in the weeds so far, Jamie. I'm trying not to get too. But Bailey Maupin is somebody else. 8.8 points in the last 4 games. Bailey's been averaging almost 16 a game. So, now Snetta in the K-State game, she did have 14, so that was good. And then you need Jalen Bristol to continue to do what she's done. In the last 4 games, she's averaged 12, so that's good. And the other thing is, you got to stop turning over the basketball. You've averaged almost 18 turnovers in the last 4 games versus 16, and the problem is your opponent is stopped turning the ball over, and so points off turnovers has become a factor, points in the paint a factor, second chance points a factor. You just need to play better, and you need your top 6 players just to play a little better and take care of the basketball. But the big concern for Villanova is, Jamie, they lost 4 games in their conference in the Big East. 2 of them in Yeah, two of them to UConn, and then of their 7 losses, they've lost 3 times to UConn. They're 25-7, so they're good. I mean, they average about 72 points a ball game, and they average to make about in the conference almost 28 field goals a game. So your defense has to come to work and bring their lunch pail tomorrow evening here in Baton Rouge. It'll be interesting to me to see how many people stick around, because LSU is playing the early game against Jacksonville, and then we're playing the late game. So the crowd may not be a big factor, because a lot of those LSU fans may say, hey, you know what? We beat Jacksonville. We're going to the house. So, but you just got to play better in the fourth quarter and bring your offense with you and see what you can do. Because it would be like, obviously you want to win as much as you can, but winning a game in the NCAA tournament would be huge for this basketball team and program.
Absolutely. I think it would have a completely different feel to the end of the season for this team if you at least win one here in the NCAA tournament. Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's doable.
The biggest thing here is just playing with confidence in the fourth quarter, because it looks like they've almost expecting to fall apart, and instead of being confident, and that's what they were doing earlier in the season. They were winning those fourth quarter battles, and it was a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah. So we'll see. We'll have it at 7 tomorrow, 7:30 play-by-play from the Pete Maravich Center as they take on Villanova on 93.7. The Eagle.
The Morning Drive podcast from Double T 97.3 is presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction. Jamie's question of the day on Double T 97.3 is brought to you by Connecticut of West Texas.
Okay, so 2-part question for you guys today. Pretty simple. Which Big 12 basketball team in the NCAA men's basketball tournament outperforms their seed, and which one underperforms their seed?
Well, I have BYU losing to Texas. Texas is an 11 seed. BYU is a 6. And I have all the other 7 Big 12 teams advancing in the first round. But I'm going to tell you, I think it's Kansas, because I don't think they'll lose in their first round game, but I think that there's a very high possibility that they could lose to St. John's, and it just seems like a very talented roster that's disjointed because of one guy, and I don't expect them to. I expect them to get to the Sweet 16, but I would not be surprised if they lost in the second round. I wouldn't be surprised if they struggled today, to be quite honest with you.
Okay. Jeff?
Underperforming their seed, Iowa State. As a 2 seed, that means you should be in the Elite 8. I don't think they're going to make it. A team that's going to outplay their seed, I'm going to have some fun and go BYU.
Okay. That would be really surprising to me. I think I lean closer to where Chuck does with BYU and Texas today. I'm going with the 2 number 2 seeds. I'm with Jeff. I think Iowa State does not make it to the Elite 8, so I think they're going to underperform. I think Houston is going to make it to the Final Four, and so I think they're going to overperform, and I think they're going to come out of the South.
I just realized something. I didn't fully answer your question. I only answered half your question, which is...
No, you did. You said BYU was going to underperform and Kansas. Yeah. Oh no, you actually said 2 were going to underperform.
I did. I did.
Okay, we're somewhat used to it, Chuck. You gave us 2 answers, so we were happy. I mean, we called it a win.
And none of them were Arkansas.
Yeah, so we called it a win.
I would tell you, well, I agree with Jeff. I mean, I don't think Iowa State's going to make it to the Elite Eight. I have Tennessee beating them.
Now he has three teams that are going to underperform.
Right. Now I got you. That's three, right, that underperform. But is it too much to say that Arizona, if they win the national championship, even though they're a one seed, that they overperform?
Are they thought of where are they in the pecking order of the number ones?
I think they're third.
I think they're third. Yeah.
I think Duke is one.
Then if they won it all, that could be considered that. Yeah, I think it is fair, Chuck.
So I'll say Arizona because I have Arizona winning it all, and their team. Look, I mean, Tech beat them, Kansas beat them. I mean, you look at the Red Raiders and go, man, of the teams in the Final Four, you beat two of them, and it just goes to show you how huge a loss that was with Toppin. I mean, we don't need to.
I'm sorry.
We all know it.
I'm sorry. Did I miss a memo? Do you know who's in the Final Four? Can you tell us?
I mean, my Final Four. Sorry.
Oh, Chuck's Final Four. Okay.
My Final.
I thought you had gotten some inside intel.
Yeah. No. The boys in Vegas haven't given me the numbers yet.
Well, I thought maybe Bill or somebody had passed along that info.
No, I'm really curious who our officials are going to be tomorrow. I mean,
aren't we all though, Chuck? Aren't we all?
I'm really curious as to who's.
Is Bailey Maupin going to get out of her shooting funk, or do we have great officials? I mean, those are the 1A and 1B questions.
Jeff, he doesn't care if they're good or not. He just cares if they're social or not.
That makes them good to Chuck.
Yeah, there's a couple that we really like because they come over and talk to us and say hi, and things like that. I mean, we've been doing this long enough, Fink and I have, and these officials, they're pretty much the same people over the last, I don't know, 5 to 8 years that they see us, they know who we are. I mean, they don't necessarily know our names, but they know that we're a friendly face and that we're cordial. We're very nice. We try to be good ambassadors for the program.
That's good.
Yeah,
I think you guys do a great job with that. I'm sure.
If there's one thing that I think that we do a good job of, me and Fink, it's being friendly and good ambassadors and being positive. That's and Fink, man, he takes it all to another level with his knowledge and ability, and me, I just try to keep from saying something stupid, which, as we all know, that happens on a pretty much daily basis.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like if you're a male and you're married, that's what your goal is every day. Just try to keep from saying something stupid. Yeah.
So somebody wants to know if I'm having a seizure. No, I'm not having a seizure.
Okay.
I don't know what brought the seizure on, but no, not today. No seizures today.
Okay, that's good. Let's keep it that way.
I would like to keep it.
Trip and fall with your flip-flops or anything. We need the Lady Raider trainers focusing on the Lady Raiders.
They won't leave that alone either, because I was at dinner. We were at dinner last night, and I was talking to this one guy, and I said, earlier this year I'm trying to train myself how to run again, and the head trainer Brenna Ellis, she looked at me, she's like, no. She started shaking
no.
Her head. No.
She's tired of working on you, Chuck.
She is. No. I wasn't going to tell you this because you guys are just going to laugh out loud. I don't know if we have enough time, but I may have to carry it over. But I do have a funny from last night that you guys would enjoy, because it was really one of those deals where it's like, oh yeah, I did say that. So I will share that with you at some point in time this morning if I remember.
This is the Morning Drive Podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
Jamie Lent and Jeff McGuire. I'm Chuck Heinz. Welcome to the Power Hour, Jamie. Do you feel like you've already had 2 hours of Power Hour, or do you feel like this will be a special Power Hour?
They're all special, Chuck.
They're all special.
Very special.
Jamie, Jeff, and I come to you from the First United Bank studio and look forward to your comments on the Yates Flooring Center chat line. We read most of them. If you get too chippy, it may get pushed to the bottom of the pile, but we've got pretty thick skin.
Hey, listen, they all get read, just not all of them out loud.
That's well said. Let's see here. This from the Yates Flooring Center chat line off the Double T 97.3 mobile app. I'm just now realizing how much Chuck says concerning reminds me of my boss. I don't take that as a compliment. Dear Chuck, most ball games are lost, not won. Stingle. Okay. This from the Yates Flooring Center chat line. Thank you. Arizona is the second overall seed. Okay, so they're number 2.
Still, if they won the national championship, that would be higher than is expected.
This person said, that's what I was thinking of, but there are a lot of brackets with them winning. Not sure how them winning would be overachieving, given they've lived at 1 or 2 the majority of the season and lost only 2 games. I'd say 1 is Duke and 1A Arizona. Well, remember this, what we learned yesterday, no team has won from the West since 1997, and that was Arizona and Lute Olson. So let's see here. This from the Yates Flooring Center chat line, and then Jamie's got a follow-up, a couple follow-ups this morning. Usually the value of an ambassador is decided by someone else than the ambassador. I thought this was a perfect line, Jamie. You said things work differently on the morning drive.
Yes.
Chuck is really pushing the ambassador thing. This ambassador thing 2 days in a row. Jamie, we already have the Minister of Misinformation working for us. How about we give Chuck the title of Ambassador of Embarrassment? What do you think? Wow, am I embarrassing to you? I'm sorry.
No. No, it's sometimes I think you say things that maybe embarrass yourself.
Oh, yeah, but I mean, I'm not trying to. I mean, this is not, I mean, it's not a daily goal. So.
Wow. We all thought that was the goal.
No, I mean, it's not the goal. Let's see. What exact steps does Chuck take to try to not say something stupid? I'd wipe those out and come up with a new plan. Okay. That I think that gets us up to speed here on the Yates Flooring Center chat line. Okay. Let's see. Oh, we get this. How about this from the Yates Flooring Center chat line? Yaxel Lindenborg plays for Michigan. He played for my son at a junior college in Arizona. My son worked for Coach Knight at Texas Tech. That's pretty cool.
Very cool.
Yeah. We will be one of those teams that live and die by the 3-point shot. We also will need some offensive rebounds to win. Yeah, probably some second chance points and some points in the paint there. That's
if you
rebound.
If you just make all your shots, though, you won't have to worry about an offensive rebound.
Well, we've seen some of that where you go, God, they don't really have any offensive rebounds. Oh, let's see. Why is that? Because they're shooting 60 some odd % from the field. So when you do that, there's not very many offensive rebounds to get. So that's kind of the deal. All right, 8:06 this morning here on the morning drive. Thoughts, comments, Yates Flooring Center chat line. Is there one particular men's basketball game that you're really looking forward to seeing today, or getting a score on today, Jamie, that just kind of like, okay, I'm really curious about that game?
I'd really like to see Jerry McNamara win, but I'm not holding out a lot of hope that his Siena team is going to take down Duke.
Yeah.
But that would be the one on today's schedule that I'm probably the most, interested in the outcome. But the 27.5 point favorite Blue Devils, I think they'll probably end Coach McNamara's season.
Is he going to get the Syracuse job, do you think?
I don't think so. It seems like they already have a favorite in mind.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'd seen a report.
It almost feels like they need to go away from a quote unquote Syracuse guy.
Okay. Gonna take the K-State approach.
Just need
somebody
to do
completely
something
outside their family.
Yeah, just need to do
program.
something different. Yeah.
Yeah. You know, it makes me wonder how long a leash the new K-State coach will have. You know, I mean, they've given him a nice contract, so we'll see. They still don't have their entanglement with Jerome Tang untangled yet. So that's going to be interesting to see how that unfolds. See if there's going to be some mailbox money for Jerome Tang, or if he's going to, fight and lose, or if he's going to have to, sell himself a little bit, settle a little bit short of where he thinks he should be. I'm sure both sides are trying to figure that out, because at some point in time they want that to all go away, wouldn't you think?
I would think both of them definitely want it to go away. I think Jerome Tang wants his money, and I think K-State wants to be done paying him.
Yeah. Okay, so how about this 10-7 matchup with St. Mary's and Texas A&M? Admittedly so, I don't really know very much about either team. St. Mary's is 27-5. It seems like for the Aggies to get into the tournament, that seems like, something that they really haven't had that kind of success since like the Billy Gillespie days.
Yeah, it's really odd to see a Power 4 team, right, seeded worse than a team like St. Mary's.
Yes.
Which just goes to show, obviously, Texas A&M is one of the last few that made it in, whether it be 6 or 8 or whatever. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I think you're exactly right. I'm also intrigued by the BYU Texas game today. I'll be keeping an eye on that. That's tonight. And then I think also the High Point Wisconsin game this morning. It's a early afternoon tip time after lunch, but I'm really curious about that game with Wisconsin and High Point, because High Point's 30-4, and I mean they can put some points up on the board, and it will be interesting to see how Big Ten basketball works for Wisconsin today against High Point. We'll have a lot of coverage for you today on 100.7 The Score. We'll have a lot of games. They'll go around to different sites and keep you up to speed on things. Also, you can also keep track of things on the Double T Sports Network.
This has been the Morning Drive Podcast, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction. Check out our library of Double T 97.3 podcasts at doublet97.3.com.